Oh my gosh, that was really funny. I probably spent about 2 minutes just trying to remember how to hide all the panels and all the good things. Anyway, we we are getting there. Hello everyone, Rabbidroo. Back casting some Broodwar for the time being. We're on Neo Sylphid. This is 2023 game between Stork and Teangu. PvT for you on Sylphid, as I said. Probably going to do some decent R&D, for lack of a better term, and get some new replays on the new maps. This was just a pack that I had when I left off a couple of years ago that I've just decided to finish to get back into it. So I suppose that's kind of the plan. No Nexus first here from Protoss, so it looks like a standard opening from both players in the time being. I think this purple versus red probably looks okay, so we're not going to be worrying about playing with too many colors. So yeah, the shortcuts that I was trying to remember. So Control W to get this one, Control Y to get that one. I could not for the life of me get this. This is just R, which is this panel here. And if you want to go to the menu, you can do that as well. It's amazing though, like you get out of this game for a little while and you come back to it and you're like, how the frick do I do this? How the frick do I do that? So naturally not all of my settings are going to be optimal. The music might be too loud. So anybody in the comments, if you do watch the video for a while, whether it be on your headset or your television or whatever, just let me know if the music to unit sound to microphone is all good. That'll be much appreciated. So this was a Zealot expand, no core from Stork. It's a little bit unusual, and it was done blind. He hasn't sent his scouting probe anywhere. In fact, he's scouting with his Zealot, and we'll keep the production panel on for now. And it's going to be effective because Terran is just going with what's probably looking like a factory expand. We see the one SCB here, so that's definitely the plan. So Terran's going to go here, he's going to look at this Nexus timing, he's going to go, well, this isn't a Nexus first, but this isn't a core range expand either, so it's a little bit unusual. It's not a 21 Nexus or a 23 Nexus, but it's not a Nexus first, it's kind of in between, so definitely econ-centric. Bit of faster rust here. Missed the only fight that I could possibly have missed going on. The Zealot harassment here proving useful. I think he might get this SCV. Yeah, there we go. So that's pretty profitable. Our Zealot's still got plenty of health on him. Here we go. Come on, Bob. Oh, 2 SCVs, you biscuit. That is a good start. I just realized I left this panel on. I didn't mean to. Alright, so that is the end of the Zealot harassment, but he got 2 SCVs for it. That being said, though, Stork's pro production has not been non-stop. He's actually 3 workers behind, and considering he killed 2, not ideal. Not ideal. Even the pros get it wrong. So it's good to see. I suppose Stork isn't really a top-level pro anymore. If he makes round of 16, he'd probably consider that a good effort for him. So yeah, no, that's good. Teangu was, at the time that these replays were out and these games were played, he was on the scene as an aspiring ASL, probably round of 24, best case scenario 16 player, but seems to have fallen off the scene recently. I have not stayed very current, admittedly. I like this Dragoon micro, but I have been watching ASL and keeping track of the results, so I kind of know at the very least who's on the scene from that point of view. And Teangu seems to have fallen by the wayside, and Stork's always just there and thereabouts, but not quite at the top of the pile in terms of Terran, in terms of Protoss players anymore. Okay, so we're not seeing a bunker. If I could say anything, we're potentially looking at a bit of a push here. I think Stork has sensed that there is no bunker here, and there's also no siege mode, so looking to see if we can do a few trades, see if any are worthwhile. I don't think Terran's going to push out much further than this, I dare say. I think he's going to pull back. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's got a read. Stork's pulling back to the comfort of his base. He's got 3 Dragoons here, 2 tanks. Nothing in the production tab, so he's going to push this position. Shield battery coming up, so obviously more than wary of it, and I think it was just picks off a Marine, picks off another Marine, picks off an SCV. That's actually pretty solid micro from Stork. Terran really has not made up his mind yet. Maybe he was just waiting for mines, I don't know. He did get the shield battery, 2 tanks. I suppose now, because he doesn't have an observer, Robo is in play. A couple of observers are on the way, but because he doesn't have one yet, he can't push out because it's easy for Terran to just lay mines behind this. Pretty interesting start to the game. He's going to lay a mine here to get visibility on when Protoss tries to take their 3rd. But quite a fun sort of adventurous start to this. It wasn't just a very placid, you know, put pressure on the bunker, move away, get siege mode, blah blah blah. So it wasn't a boring one. It was pretty unconventional. You don't often see a shield battery after a both players expanded pretty standard. I'm a poet and I don't know it. So yeah. Yeah, what else should I say? I mean, I honestly didn't think that I would come back to Broodwar casting. Just lots of other fun and interesting things in my life. I got into poker for a while. I'm really, you know, a bit of a fanatic in terms of the game and the strategy, but I've now decided to give that a bit of a break. Lots of stuff gone on in my personal life that's keeping me busy. Work's also been keeping me busy. But I think I was on the fence about coming back to Broodwar. Oh, that Dragoon just got shot in the face. Ouch. And yeah, I actually got a message from somebody who subscribed saying, hey dude, I was really upset that you last casted 2 years ago, and I just subscribed to your channel, and I was just peaked to learn that you haven't made any new stuff. And I was like, oh, that's just a really nice thing to say. I'll actually put his message up. I'll screenshot it here when I edit the video. And I just want to say thanks, man. I appreciate it. Uh-oh. Some vultures have gotten into the house. So I'm not going to say that I decided to cast just because of that, but that certainly was probably the last little nudge that I needed to get back into it. The casting scene is very healthy, so 3rd is on the way here. It's not Terran looking at shaping up to take a 3rd, not quite yet. The casting scene is very healthy. Artosis Cast has got like 65,000 subscribers. He's grown at a hell of a rate. SayNSG is doing well. Namcraft is covering a lot of the Korean stuff, and he's pretty funny dude. So I don't think I am in any way needed or missed. Not that I ever was. But there's plenty of games, plenty of opportunity. Lots of people pretty much all doing the same thing. So I guess if anything, there's probably some opportunity to do something different. And I was thinking about a few things as we watch this shuttle fly in here. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of casting the pros. This Reaver is just far too late. I think Terran's just got so much warning about this. Like, what's the point, dude? I'm gonna be terrible this game, guys. I apologize in advance. I'm not watching the minimap. My game sense is very rusty. It'll take me a while to get back into the swing of things. I ask your forgiveness humbly in advance. Anyway, so our Reaver is here, and yeah, I just see this as somewhat pointless Reaver harassment. I think the Reaver builds have certainly become a little quicker and optimized from Protoss in more recent times. It's definitely a meta shift that we've seen. We have some units moving down, maybe just to clear some mines, I don't know. Our Terran looks like he's just gonna waltz over here and take his 3rd base, or is he at least preparing to do so? Our goon's clearing some mines. Plenty of tanks here. He's probably just setting up to take a wider position. Oh, do you think I can remember now how to get back to normal view? I don't think I can. Oh dear, that's fun. I'll have to just see how to remember that one for later. Hilarious. Okay, so a little bit of poking around. No drama. It's going to go clear some mines here. 3rd is nicely established. I reckon the 4th will be not too far away. Although, I think that Protoss needs to just confirm this, which is what he's doing now with his observer. Now that he's done that, he's probably going to start to set up to take a 4th. So an exciting start in the beginning, but now the game is kind of normalizing. Looks like it will probably head into a little bit more of a late game adventure. Yeah, as expected, he confirmed the 3rd of the Terran, therefore not likely to be attacked or any kind of timing. And he's expanded, probably soon going to be looking to expand again. So he's actually gone, you're taking 3 bases, no worries. I will take, soon, I imagine, I'll go up to 5. Just jostling around here. What was I saying earlier? Yeah, so, like, everybody just casts Korean pros. You know, some people get rights to cast certain competitions like KCM, and there's some other leagues as well. So it's just, you know, Korean professionals playing. Artosis is just obsessed with casting Flash pretty much, and a handful of the other Korean pros, which is cool. I mean, there's obviously an audience for that, and people love watching him play. I do as well. I just find myself wondering, you know, the ladder is so vast, and we are blessed with Seawall. This is an interesting attack. This is quite a lean, I can't find words. Deep line was what I was trying to say, of tanks. But he's managed to trade out all of his zealots. Oh, that was a nice storm actually. Killed a solid 10-15 SCVs, and I missed that, unfortunately. Caught the very back end of it, but I don't think that was a very good attack by Stork. Probably wasn't bad. I don't see Terran being able to march across the map now and kill him, although he really doesn't have much by way of units left. So as I was saying, and it seems to be every time I start saying it, there's a fight. But there's nobody really doing lower level games to try and show all of the tiers of the ladder. So I think realistically, if you're a new player, or if you're a player getting interested in this game, I think one of the questions you ask yourself a lot is, how good or how bad am I? And I think if you play ladder, it's very deceiving because there's a lot of smurfing that goes on. So I know what would have interested me when I was starting to play the game and really get into it and interested in it was, what is genuine, you know, A rank, B rank, C rank, D rank, and even E and F rank play? So like, what do those players actually look like? And I think only by having a look at a player on Seawall that's got a reasonable sample of games and is genuinely playing, you know, can you gauge that? So I suppose in terms of creating content around this, you know, you'd probably just have to get a whole pack of random players. Seawall is so nice in terms of the filters now and what you can search for. You can search by length of games, you can search by match types, you can search by MMR. So I think because we have this wonderful tool available to us, I'd love to know what it is that people would like to see. I know that if I was following a caster and I was trying to learn how to play Protoss, for example, I would definitely want to see C rank games, B rank games. These storms are really, really good. That one was a nice one. So perhaps that's something to consider. Is he out of storms? Oh yeah, of course he is. Okay. Because I mean, I just don't see the point. If I am going to get back into this, why would I be casting Korean pros? Everybody else is doing it and they do a great job, you know? And I can do it too, but I don't think I'm a better, more insightful caster than anybody else who's doing this. So, you know, let's bring in something different. The other thing I was thinking is, again, leveraging the power of Seawall's filtering, to look at games that are between 5 and 10 minutes long on average, because you should be able to filter out all of the cheese, all of the rush builds, and you can learn some of the tricks and some of the funny things that are happening on ladder. And I also remembered when I was trying to play ladder, how frustrated I got because I would come across builds that I'd genuinely never seen before. I was like, what is this guy doing? What is this all in? What is this move? What is that move? If you're able to do a whole mass of these little short games where you can see the cheeses. You can see when they're held and you can see when they get lost to you. The games are always short and the lessons are always potentially useful. So, you know, those are the options. Those are some of the ideas. Of course, the question that what it'll all come down to is who is the audience for Broodwar casts? You know, is it people that still play the game? Or is it people that used to play the game and are just interested in enjoying high-level games and watching high-level games? I guess that's really the question. I'm missing all of the shuttle play in these storm drops because I'm not paying proper attention. But that does seem to be Stork's plan. I've given precious little in terms of commentary to this game. So we got plenty of gates. I see double forge. So he seems to be just be going the shuttle reaver. Sorry, the shuttle storm. Gateway army approach. I don't know how well this will work. Here he comes in for another big tank. I don't know. I mean, that was a decent storm. Oh, okay. I can't find the tank to click on. So he's on 2-1. That actually was pretty decent. He's still got a number of zealots alive. That's kind of your rule of thumb in the game. If I still have zealots alive, I keep going. He's lost most of his tanks and he's still got zealots alive here, so I think Stork's probably gonna, although the supplies now are very, very even, and I think just run a macro out of these factories and he'll clean this up. He is sending in another round of reinforcements, mainly dragoons, which are very, very precious units at the moment. Does have a couple of tanks here. One of these zealots snuck down here as well. Picks up another tank. So Teangu's got plenty of supply, but no tanks. He's got a tank over there, he's got a tank over there, he's got 3 tanks, and that's it. He's also contained to 3 bases, while Protoss is on 5, so perhaps just on that premise alone, he should be okay. He's mining pretty low here. He's basically mined out his main already, so I think Terran's pretty low on money, where Protoss doesn't have that problem, so this could possibly just be building up to a fairly simple macro win for our Protoss. I need to check that button to get back to the normal view. So funny. Where's your observer? Must be, yeah. I was gonna say, because you're clearing these mines without a problem. Going to the well again, this time without storm. Dropped a few zealots. Lots of mines here. I think this is a little bit of diminished utility from our Protoss. So same idea over and over again. But the results are just becoming less and less impactful, and now we've just got dragoons against tanks, which is overs. I think Stork is either of the view that he has, well, this is actually pretty smart because, oh, he's got this base as well, and he's dropped an Archon here. He's just picked off a whole bunch of SCVs, which is very useful. This base is pretty crucial for Terran, and that was pretty good damage, I must say. I think that Terran really needed just to probably spread his units and his defense a little bit better, to control the center of the map, this area a little better. So he's got a lot of his defense concentrated here instead of perhaps here. I think he needs to be a bit more aggressive, take a narrower arc a bit further forward to contain Protoss, because Protoss has just got unlimited money, so he's just sending wave after wave after wave after wave because he can quite literally afford to do so. So as I said, this area here, he's trying, he needs to sort of spread a bit more, get the mines in place. Comes Terran again. It's got the shuttle. I don't know what's in the shuttle. Just a couple of zealot bombs. Okay, so this base is up and running. I think Terran really wants this base. if he can get the space, he'll win the game. He needs his base. Terran definitely needs another base to just keep reinforcing. Yes, his units are cost effective, but this is not a good angle, Stork. This is really bad. Single line, conga filing. It's finally dropped out a few Templars. But this trade was horrible. I think we started at 175 versus 130. And Terran still has the same amount of units, and Protoss is just losing everything. This is actually, I must be honest, this is a really bad game from somebody of Stork's pedigree. Like, it's just so potato. It's just, you know, throwing your units into a meat grinder over and over and over again. Just as your opponent is getting stronger, you know, it's 3-1. Soon he'll have 3-2. He's trying to expand behind this, which is probably a reasonable course of action, but he just needs to stop attacking so badly. Is it just this premise, well, I've got unlimited money, so I don't care? Maybe. Does pull back. Does pull back. Just sell it in dragoons. It feels like one of my games. And I'm terrible at this game because I just, you know, make unit attack, make unit attack. He's just picking up a few free units. I think he has done well. He's spread, Terran has spread to cover this arc of the map, which is what I was saying he needed to do. I'd still like to see this a bit further up, if I'm honest. So you can have a deeper line going this way than this way. This is just more meat grinding. Wow. I'm actually speechless. Is there a plan B here? Like, is he gonna make carriers? Is he gonna do something different? The only compliment that I can give our Protoss player in what has been, in my opinion, a terrible game from him is his observer placement. He's got really good visibility on the map. Other than that, it's freaking atrocious. He's making another base. There's a Wraith here, probably just to block the shuttles. He's got plenty of money, but he will not break. Oh, I can actually... I caught the storm drop, guys. I'm back. Oh my word, that was painful. That was like 14 SCBs, and his most essential source of income. So if Stork does win this game, it'll be what you call a battering ram victory. There was nothing subtle or skillful about it. He just, unfortunately, that Terran ran out of money. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't like to call things, especially now having been out of action for so long. But okay, we're doing a worker transfer here. Got a few cannons. He's gonna have to get some love. Oh, he runs away from the cannons. Interesting. Probably these goons will come tidy up here. Okay, nicely done. Supplies are quite even. It's got this base up and running with just spreading his SCVs. Really hasn't really remade any. It's amazing how little money Terra needs to be able to fight against Protoss. Protoss has got all this money, not as many workers. Where are your workers dying? Ah, here he comes. Another nice big bite. Not supposed to zoom in here for a thumbnail. There we go. Couple of decent spots here for a thumbnail, I reckon. Nice thumbnail opportunities here. Some casting hacks, guys. Oh, Jesus, he ate some mines there. So Teangu holds firm. However, Looks like these leftover goons are going to... I think they're going to get mopped up here by these tanks and vultures with some good mine placement. He might just walk straight into mines anyway. A couple of zealots in the house. Even the SCVs are doing some fighting. And as I've begged our Terran about 500 times, please spread to this side of the map. Because... Okay, so we're going to do a bit of base denial here. Got a few goons. You can remax pretty fast. It's got 14 gates operating, which is a lot. Yeah, okay. If you had to put a gun to my head and tell me to call it, I think Stork's just gonna... He's just gonna literally bludgeon Terran to death here. Terran's gonna run out of money. It has been a very, very, very unpretty... Unpretty? A very unpretty game. But I think he's just gonna have enough. Just over and over and over and over and over again. We've got some counter-attacking over here happening, which means that he's actually got fewer units to defend, so it's a little bit of a trade of bases going on, and I don't think that that's the right call by Terran. I literally don't think Terran can afford to lose their income, which is they're going to do here, and they're going to do here. I think we'll see a GG shortly. This has got no real significance right now. He's got a mining base here that's got plenty of money. He's got a mining base here that's got some money. And he's got just destroyed this mining base, and this is the only other remaining mining base for Terran. So that's going to be game over. Well, that was an interesting PvT to get back into the swing of things. It's got no SCVs. It's game over. Teangu should tap out shortly. Stork, that was not an excitingly or really particularly good game of Starcraft from you, my friend, but I will take it as somebody who needed to get back into the swing of things. I'm doing about 7 games on the bounce today, so for those who are wondering if I'm going to do one game and disappear again, the answer is no. I will at least have 6 more uploads on the way, and then we'll see how we feel after that. But anyway, if you tuned in to watch me after I've been off the scene for a while, thank you. I appreciated making this game, and I will see you soon.